No, not like this. Not like this. In the Shipwrecked DLC of Don't Starve, or the Island Adventures mod if that's more your style, there's a place that looms as a threat over every player. Climbing it and stealing its bounties are integral to any Shipwrecked playthrough, especially that sweet, sweet brown gold that is coffee. But what if you spawned in the volcano? How long could you survive? Well, today I plan to answer that question. Now, there is no option to spawn in the volcano on default, which is a pretty bad omen, but thankfully I have the power of console commands to bring us over to the volcano as soon as we spawn. Oh, you are kidding me. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Now let's go ahead and see just how long we can survive in the Shipwrecked volcano, starting with nothing but the skin on our backs. Day 1 starts with me frantically running around and looking for basic necessities. We managed to sneak some coffee before they wither, which will give us some much needed nutrients. But other than that, there's nothing. Much like the Lunar Island, there's no grass in the volcano, which limits you severely, but unlike Lunar Island, even food and light is scarce. I'll talk more about light when night hits, but food is our biggest problem. We can't get our hands on more coffee since ash trees require an axe, something we can't make at the moment, and the only food source we have access to is dragoons, which are a pretty poor food source because, well, this is what we have to do, and even then, most of the time they just drop monster meat, which would be alright if we could cook it, but eating it raw is a quick way to an early grave. Now, what could help us though is dragoon hearts, which have a rare chance to drop from dead dragoons, and they will help us live on this mountain a little longer as they provide health and hunger. But again, they have a pretty low drop chance, and I swear every time I want one, they don't drop. It's the whole thing. It's the spider drop thing all over again. Nighttime was here, and I think you can see the issue now. The only source of light we have if we don't have a dragoon heart is the caldera of the volcano. It works, but it's incredibly dangerous. The caldera of the volcano consistently outputs maximum heat, meaning if we step even a little too close, our temperature will be maxed out, and will take a ton of temperature tick damage. Something we kind of can't afford, as we have no way to heal ourselves. By some miracle, we skirt into day 2, and I set my sights on farming dragoons. Slowly, because I kind of have to, punch them, which is very inefficient. We defeat quite a few dragoons today, but guess this, a single heart. Yeah, that sucks. What sucks even more though is the fact that I slurped that bad boy down to get some health back when I really should have saved it for light because nighttime is back, and here's where the caldera shows its teeth. As you can see, the only safe spot here is slightly in the dark, which hemorrhages our sanity like a wildfire. But it's between losing a ton of sanity or dying to heat exhaustion. I think I'm gonna choose the former here. This run may be doomed, but I truly do want to see how long I can pull through. We make it to day 3 somehow, and it's time to get back to work. A few more dragoons later, and finally we get ourselves a heart. Too little too late though, as you can see we're not doing too well. We eat the heart to heal a little bit, and nighttime proves to be challenging once again, as we have to sacrifice even more sanity to protect ourselves from overheating. By some miracle, we made it all the way to day 4. Even I have no clue how, but this was soon to come to an end. We were down to chugging monster meat, and at this rate, we could only afford one more bite before we croaked. We needed another heart, or this run was over. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We're dead. We're dead. He just signed our death warrant. Oh my goodness. Maybe. We can't eat that monster meat. We'll die. We need a heart. We need a heart. We just need a heart. Just a heart. Just a heart. Any heart. Please give heart. Please give heart. Then we can eat one more monster meat because it'll give us 11. We'll go down to 1 health, but that's fine. 3. Come on. 1. Oh no. No. Not like this. Not like this. No. And so, if you spawned on the volcano, you could only survive around 4 days. Maybe more if you get lucky with heart drops. But eventually, I would have gone insane, and as there was no way to restore sanity on the volcano, that would have been the end of the run. Maybe not instantly because sanity monsters aren't that bad, but eventually they would overrun me. But that says Wilson. What about the many other characters that you can choose from? Weber is the first one to stand out to me because he can survive off of monster meat no problem, and even gets a spider army to help him defeat the many goons around the volcano. But he suffers the same fate eventually, because like I said, there's no sanity regenerating options on the volcano. So for a character to thrive in the volcano, they need to be able to ignore sanity, be able to eat monster meat, and have decent combat capabilities. That leaves me with Wilba. And yeah, Wilba is the best for this challenge. She can not only eat raw monster meat with no downsides, she also turns into a werepig, which gives her a combat form that she can still craft in and do everything she wants to in. She would still suffer from sanity problems once hurricane season rolls around and she gets soaked, but this is where Wilba we're talking about. She's literally Don't Starve Together Woody, but even stronger somehow. Yeah, Wilba can live forever on the volcano. She's even immune to the temperature effects, which means dry season won't be a problem for her. But that's really boring. Sure, I could sit here and defeat dragoons for hours and make it a full year just to say I can, or we could reorganize this challenge so I can get back to my boy Wilson and make this challenge doable. But still difficult. What if I gave myself a grace period, a few days to grab all of the resources I possibly can before being teleported to the volcano? Then, could I survive a full year there? Now this is intriguing for both you, the viewer, and for me. Now, I could be boring and give myself a grace period of like 10 days, but that would be ridiculously long and give me more than enough time to gather everything I need to live lavishly on the volcano. So to keep the stakes high, I brought that down to just 4 days. On the start of day 5, I will have to drop everything I'm doing, make a beeline for my raft, and live the rest of my life within the volcano, doomed to never leave again. 4 days is not a long time. That's 31 minutes from the time that I spawn in. So let's go ahead and see what I can manage to scrounge up within that grace period. Day 1 starts the clock. We do what man does best and absolutely obliterate all of the natural resources on our starting island before setting sail to the next to plunder it as well. There were a few things I absolutely wanted before we were forced to live like an evil mastermind on a volcano. We needed at least 4 palm fronds, but more wouldn't hurt. This is for palm leaf huts, a structure that will provide us with 100% rain resistance and will allow us to not be soaked and miserable for well over half of this challenge run. We also, of course, wanted to pack ourselves some plantables, like saplings, grass, turf, because we wanted sustainability. That's the secondary goal here. Well, not the secondary. We kind of need to make it our primary goal. We need to live as long as we can. By day 2, things were picking up. We were almost halfway up with our time limit. Like I said, 4 days passed pretty darn quick. Today we got a backpack, made a shovel, and started uprooting some plants. We go for 10 saplings, 20 grass, and 10 bamboo. I did less saplings than grass because twigs can actually naturally be obtained on the volcano, albeit non-renewably, by digging up withered elephant cacti or withered coffee. I just shuddered thinking of wasting a perfectly good coffee bush like that, but oh well. Let's not worry about that quite yet. We were also collecting 2 other important resources: jungle tree seeds and berry bushes. I don't think I need to explain why these are so important. Day 3 rolls around and we were officially over the halfway point. Still so much to do and so little time. We sail to a brand new island in hopes of finding more goodies to bring along, and we find some pretty green grass turf which I dig up to bring with us. Now this decision is way more than cosmetic. All volcano turf is actually considered rocky turf, meaning without natural turf, like this grassy turf, we wouldn't be able to plant any natural plants on it. No trees, no grass, no saplings. Yeah, that would be a pretty short run. We need sustainability, so we need natural turf. I settle for a full stack. That should be more than enough. We then set sail one more time in hopes of finding some berry bushes because, we don't exactly have a lot. I mean, I could survive off of 5 berry bushes, but until we harness the power of coffee, which could take a while, we're gonna need a better food source. The night creeps up on us though, and we make landfall on what very well could be our final island we will ever set foot on, by light of rainbow jellyfish. I love rainbow jellyfish. Never mind, this island sucks. Let's get out of here. The weight was starting to weigh on me. We were on our final day, and sure, I could survive with what I had in my inventory, but could I thrive? Probably not. Wait, what is that? No way. It can't be. Wait, where were we? Oh crap. Okay, we still have about 5 minutes, give or take. Lady Luck must have been shining on me today though, as we run into what quite literally was the goldmine island for this challenge. So many berries, free pigskin, all of what we could ever ask for. The island didn't even have any monkeys either, so we just had all of this for free. We spent what little time we had gathering everything we possibly could, and finally, the day of reckoning was here. We dropped everything, went to our raft, and got sent to our new forever home. Our first case of action was to establish our own slice of life, which we spend most of day 5 prepping out, until I realize our, neighbors. Yeah, see, I'm not about to risk a Dragoon deciding to visit my base and burn everything to the ground, destroying our sustainability, so let's, try this again in the morning. Alright, day 6, new beginning. We place our turf, place our bushes, bamboo, saplings, grass, and finally plant our trees. I chose to live next to the obsidian workbench, which, spoiler alert, I'm scared of obsidian tools because the last time I used one I burnt down my house, so that decision was purely cosmetic. I never use this thing. I don't know why I base near this instead of the volcano altar of sacrifice. Look, I'm totally fine waiting the extra few seconds it takes to chop down a tree with a regular axe. I don't know if you've been following along or anything, but I kind of don't have a lot to do for the next year. My only goal is to survive. But I got some fun side goals, don't worry, I'll keep myself entertained, and hopefully I'll keep you entertained as well. On day 7, I begin a process that would take me the entirety of this playthrough to complete. Operation Tame the Volcano. I wanted to try my best to clear as many geysers, ash trees, charcoal boulders, and obsidian boulders as I possibly can in my year here, while also collecting as many coffee plants as I can and setting up a mean automatic Dragoon farm with the elephant cacti. But we might be dreaming a bit big, it's only day 7, and really we're trying to just kill time right now. I brought an entire stack of petals with me and they are close to rotting. Once they do rot, we'll be able to start collecting renewable sources of grass, berries, and bamboo. I also fight a few Dragoons today and managed to get 3 hearts. Man, Wilson V1 is probably rolling in his grave right now, I'm sure, because that luck is crazy. Day 8 is a big day for us. We make a crock pot, which will be very important for us as it will be our only source of sanity and healing throughout this run. Well, technically not healing because Dragoon hearts exist, but our only good source of healing. And then we use those rotten petals to fertilize our base. Starting to look pretty good. We make 2 more crock pots and I realized that I may have underestimated how many twigs we needed. I've been digging up some elephant cacti for extra twigs, but that destroys them, and I would much rather harness them for farming purposes. Speaking of elephant cacti, on day 9 all of them wake up for some reason. Now normally elephant cacti are supposed to remain withered until dry season, but Shipwrecked being the finished game that it is, I didn't pay it too much time. I focus on gathering ash and charcoal because the sooner we could get some coffee at home, the sooner we could have emergency filler, and even gain access to a surprisingly potent healing dish. Yeah, you heard me right. For once, I'm not actually worried about coffee for its speed buffs. Because, you know, I'm stuck on this tiny lava donut, I'm not really going to need to run anywhere. We'll still make coffee for fun though, of course, don't get me wrong, I still do love my speed. On day 10, we collect coffee. On day 11, we plant coffee and get our first harvest of the run. We take the grass, but I strategically leave the berries for emergency purposes. And our next notable event doesn't happen until day 13, the very first storm. Now, we won't need to worry about wetness protection for the first mild season shower, but it does make me aware of another huge danger of Shipwrecked: wind. In regular Shipwrecked, items are usually blown harmlessly into the water where you can retrieve it later. But on the volcano, if an item gets blown off the edge, it's deleted forever. Which means yes, I will be using chests for this run, for any lightweight items. My sworn enemy, Shipwrecked, why must you torture me so? Oh yeah, we also have been collecting some elephant cacti by making the local gooners fight them. These are a secret tool that we will be using heavily later down the line. The next few days are much of the same, so I'm gonna spare you guys all the details. That's what the extras channel is for if you really want to see me get bored out of my mind. You know, go over there, subscribe, but also don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not already. You know, I had to do my mandated e-begging. Also leave a like on this video, that'd make you really cool. But let's get back to the run. On day 15, we had our very first large jungle tree. Now, you might assume that I'll always wait for the jungle trees to hit large to chop them down. That way I get 2 seeds back, and the empire can grow. However, this is not going to always be the case. Yes, I'll want to chop large trees for not only the 2 seeds, but also the fact that bananas can only drop from large trees, but I'm also going to chop medium trees. This is because medium jungle trees give you the highest chance of eggs, an essential ingredient for gunpowder, which we will need to clear those ugly giant red boulders from near our base. But at this point, I didn't actually know that while I was playing the game. I only learned that when I was doing this run, so I'm still waiting for large trees because I hope that they can give me eggs, but I should be chopping down those medium trees. But this is a problem for past me to deal with, not future me to philosophize on. Falafels sound really good. I like falafels. On day 16, I make myself some cactus armor by using a log suit and 3 of those little cactus spikes. This is basically bramble armor, but it comes with one extra benefit. It allows me to ignore the elephant cacti's attack, which means it's essential for my next project, creating the Dragoon Death Pit, which is as simple as surrounding a den with cacti, fertilizing it, and coming back later. And when we did come back later, it was working like a charm. This design kind of sucked though, but I perfect it later, you know, because I have like well over 50 days left of living here. We're not even out of mild season yet, so the hard part hasn't even begun, man. Another huge bonus of having cactus armor is that it makes baiting dragoons into doing the dirty work of fighting the elephant cacti way easier. So we collect even more today and get a second dragoon farm set up in the middle of the night. More monster meat income is never a bad thing, and the hearts are great for running around at night. On day 18, I make some preparations for hurricane season. I set up a lightning rod and right next to it, a palm leaf hut. Boom! Hurricane season is now nullified. I love Shipwrecked. And then I finally realized that my dragoon farm is flawed and I need to redesign it slightly, so I use fire to kill some of my cacti to replant them slightly further out. This still isn't my final design though, I get a much better one later that works flawlessly. On day 19, I utilized that bamboo we brought with us to make some Ice Maker 3000s. Now, not only will this let us turn fuel into ice for filler, it also allows us to make banana pops out of any bananas that drop from our jungle trees, which provide a whopping 33 sanity a pop. Not bad at all. In the night while cutting down said trees though, I get a double venomous snake jump scare. And this makes me realize something. If we ever do accidentally get envenomated by one of these guys, we're gonna be in a rough spot because anti-venom isn't exactly common in the volcano. Surely that won't happen, right? On day 20, we get our very first banana. We fuel up our ice makers and get our very first banana pop afterwards. Unfortunately, bananas only drop from adult jungle trees and they take quite a while to mature, so banana pops will quite literally be a rare little treat. In the night, we chug a cup of coffee and head out to burn some elephant cacti. This is where I learned that it takes approximately 7 items stacked separately to take down one elephant cactus. Which isn't bad, but it still kinda sucked. We didn't exactly have a lot of burnable material. Day 21 marks the start of hurricane season, but something funny about the volcano is that it completely blocks color cubes from hurricane season, so we straight up couldn't tell. Until day 22 when our first hurricane happened. Like I said though, thanks to our palm leaf hut and lightning rod combo, this was just gonna be a matter of waiting to survive. Some things change about hurricane season in the volcano though. The winds, rain, and incredible amounts of lightning still exist, but hail no longer falls. As you probably know, hail is actually only a positive thing since it can be used to make ice, but really it doesn't matter too much. The winds are pretty helpful though, as it can harvest our resources for us, and as a bonus fact, when resources are harvested by the wind, and I didn't learn this until I did this playthrough, we wouldn't need to refertilize them. This is mostly noticeable on our coffee plants, as normally you have to feed them 1 ash for every coffee, but now we just get coffee trickled to us for free every now and then. Today is also where I learn of our best healing food available on this run, Fruit Medley. Using 3 coconuts and a twig, we make this dish which, while not hunger efficient, is not too bad for healing and cooling. Now, you can't make Fruit Medley with berries, as they have a 0.5 fruit value, and you need a fruit value of 3 to make it. But funny enough, cooked coffee beans have a fruit value of 1 for some reason. So they would allow us to renewably make Fruit Medley for healing. If you're wondering why I didn't plant the coconuts, well, that's because they need sand, which is the default turf outside of the volcano. So that's impossible. Trust me, I thought about it too, but no, we can't plant coconuts, it's a sad day. Days pass and hurricane season breezes by. And at some point, I remember that sleeping exists, so we use it to not only skip those long, boring hurricane season nights, but also bring our sanity up. And before we know it, it's monsoon season. We've explored the entirety of the volcano and now only had 1 calm season left before all hell would break loose. Literally. Our coffee field was looking immense and amazing, but I'll be honest, most of that coffee was being used as filler, as blasphemous as that sounds. The volcano's not really big, so speed isn't king during this challenge, funny enough. Well, not yet anyway. On day 38, we get our first gunpowder haul, so we put that boom boom powder to use to get some obsidian that we would be using to extend our dragoon farm. I don't know why I was saying that so weird, just watch me blow things up. The next few days were a lot of the same, and thanks to the power of editing, you guys don't actually have to see all of it. But at some point, I actually did get my Dragoon farm completely optimized. Placing the elephant cacti like a plus sign or an X depending on your screen orientation, it ensured that all Dragoons were defeated fast and all of their loot was accessible. And man, this farm was looking great. I had been using obsidian, hearts, and stone to expand the farm as well. But wait a minute, and I'm already almost all the way to dry season? Where the heck are all the floods? Well, looks like someone didn't watch my ultimate base guide. Let me break it down for you. Yeah, so flooding just doesn't happen on the volcano. This alone actually makes it a really good place for a base. The rains still do happen, and yes, when they do happen, we have to hide out or risk being soaked nearly instantly, but no flooding means no venomous mosquitoes or constant sanity damage. This turned monsoon season into mild season with a slight increase in rain frequency, which is also kind of what hurricane season is, but whatever, not the point. The point is, we weren't just surviving at this point, we were thriving. Coffee fields as far as the eye can see, we had cleared the entire map of ash trees and charcoal boulders, and even made a sizable dent in the obsidian boulder and magma pile population. Life had honestly been kind of a breeze in the volcano. That was, that was about to change. It was now day 57, but we wouldn't notice until it was the afternoon that it was dry season. You see how orange it got? Yeah, dry season was here, and dry season is a little more dangerous in the volcano. What do I mean by that? Well, you know how the caldera of the volcano raises your temperature to maximum instantly? Yeah, so during an eruption, the whole volcano does this for almost an entire day, even after the eruption is over. Needless to say, we can't just keep chugging fruit medley and expecting ourselves to tank that kind of damage, so I had another plan. We're going the sacrifice route. So, the problem. If the volcano erupts, there's a very good chance we might not live through it. The solution? The volcano altar of sacrifice. We can feed it raw monster meat to appease it, something we had an abundance of thanks to our Dragoon farm. So, we did just that. Day after day, after day, after day, after day. Okay, I'm bored. Let's just let the volcano blow up. Oh. Oh, she's... Oh no. One more. One more and she'll blow. There we go. Go, go, go! Oh yeah, there's the heat. There's the heat. Go, Wilson, go! The volcano is erupting and we're on it. All right, we want to blow up as much of these things as possible. Man, we are overheating immediately. I'm assuming fruit midley is not going to help. No, it is not. So we just have to tank this overheating. Yes! Blow it up! Blow it up! Beautiful. Okay, so we can't see the ground as easily. Hello, Dragoon. You probably should go back inside, dog. Ah! Oh, that was embarrassingly short. Are we serious? That was it? Wait, what? That was it? I mean, we're still overheating, but we have enough fruit medley to tank it. Let's do it again. We can handle that. Woo! Alright, go, 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 Wilson, go! Gotta blow up these, we could have been dealing with this the whole time, then. This is not that bad. Yes. More obsidian breakage. Come on, target right here. Target right here. Come on. Come on. Oh, that's so close. Come on. Target right there. Right there. Come on. Not there! Oh, you stupid. Yes! That's what I like to see. How much have we cooked through? Yeah, no, this would take forever. I'm kind of listening for them because I can't really see them through the ash. Oh, yeah, there we go. Ooh! Oh, that one almost got me. Oh, that one almost got me. Ooh, that one got me. Ouchie. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. You can't see them. You can't see their shadows. Okay, you know what? Let's get an epic eruption tonight. Let's do it. All right. Tonight's the night we get the epic eruption. Wilson, go! Oh, no! There's the heat. Go, Wilson, go, boy! It's the final day. If we survive this, we've truly conquered the volcano. Oh no. The fruit medley's stale. Oh, that's actually horrible. We still have prime Dragoon hearts, though, so that's good. That's good. That'll work. Ooh! Go, Wilson, run, boy, run! Run, boy! Oh no! I think our summer base got blown up, potentially. Okay, stand still for a second. Let the, watch for shadows. Watch for shadows. Woo! Wow. And, just like that. Well, we did it. There will be no more eruptions from here on forward. And with those embarrassing ending eruptions, Mild Season 2.0 was here, and it was time to say goodbye to our wonderful volcano base. How long can you survive on the volcano with 4 days of prep time as Wilson? Well, if you're smart, indefinitely. Sorry this video was a little shorter than my other challenge runs, but look at this. This was my entire home for 71 days, man. I didn't even get the pleasure of looking at the other islands from the map like I would have if I was on like Lunar Island or something. It was a rough challenge. I kind of went insane, but we made it. I'll be honest though, I would recommend living on the volcano if you wanted a long-term shipwrecked world though. It won't flood, you won't have to worry about crocodogs, tiger shark, or seal NATO appearing randomly. Dragoon farms are a quick and easy source of monster meat which can be turned into eggs with a bird cage. It's honestly a pretty nice place. Alright, that's enough volcano stuff. Dude, I'm gonna go sit next to my AC for the next hour. I'm gonna see you everyone. Ooh, Polarlotus out.